Hey beauty, that's a throwback. Hi girl, my name is Vic and I'm a personal trainer and an online coach, and today we are on level 3 of the Debloat series. If you've missed level 1, if you've missed level 2, there's no point coming to level 3, so go back, because level 1 was about easy things that you can implement to help with your gut, help debloat outside of a calorie deficit. Level 2 is things that would be a little bit different, such as mouth taping, CBD drinks, that kind of thing. And then level 3 is, I'd say, the real holistic, hardcore, next step up level things. There's no point doing level 3 if you're not even looking at the basics that feature in level 1. So let's get into level 3. If you've made it this far, I'm ever so grateful. And I'm going to, as always, share my best tips with you that keep me in shape all year outside of a calorie deficit, help regulate my nervous system, and can easily be implemented into your day or evening routine. Let's go. Can we just talk about how cute these straws are first? Oh, anyway, first up are my B12 injections. My B12 injections, the reason I have them is because I have an autoimmune, I have ulcerative colitis. I don't absorb B12 based on how inflamed my digestive tract is and how my body struggles due to the inflammation and the ulcers inside my digestive tract. And my body can't really absorb B12 or many of the B vitamins that we get from food. So I have to go for hardcore supplementation. Now, you might not need a B12 shot. It's great for energy, it's great for my sleep, it's great. To be honest, it's mainly my energy that I can feel the difference with. But obviously there are other health benefits of the B vitamins. So I have a B12 injection and I have B12 a multi that goes under my tongue, 4 drops every evening, because under the tongue is the best absorption. But the B12 shot, now some people have it every 12 weeks. I can feel it on week 9 that I can't get out of bed, my energy's really low, and I go to a local nurse / babe, Emma at Mirror Image Clinic, have done now for nearly a year. It'll be a year in September. But you can't just guess what you're deficient in. So I had a full panel of blood tests with Emma. Emma could see that my iron was low and I struggled to absorb B12, and that hasn't changed, that I struggle to absorb. So I have a B12 shot every 9 weeks. Emma says that it's meant to really sting. I'm a big brave girl because it doesn't sting. There are no side effects. If anything, after a couple of days, I can feel that I've got way more energy. I don't need to go to bed as early. I can get out of bed in the morning. But if you're not B12 deficient, it's worth having some blood tests done. The doctors, I can get free blood tests, and I do have free annual blood tests due to the IBD that I have. But they always just say you're within range. What's within range, babe? Whose range? Because I don't deem the general population to be well. So what ranges are we talking? And whenever you ask for the ranges, they're quite reluctant, and sometimes you're really close to the parameters. So I like to get private blood tests done because I then know exactly what the ranges are and what I'm deficient in. So I would have a panel of blood tests done. Even if you don't feel like you're deficient in anything, it's worth just checking that your hormones are okay, that your liver function's okay, your thyroid's okay, especially if you get to like a perimenopause place where the doctors just say, that symptom, that's nothing. No, that is something, and you can supplement based on what your findings are. So B12 for me, or any supplementation based on a panel of blood test results. Number 1, B12 shots. So number 2 is lymphatic massage. Now, I shared in level 2 about elevating your legs to help drain your lymphatics, but there is something that I do when I feel like my digestion is slow, when I feel really puffy. You know when you pinch your finger and it stays up? Oh, I am dehydrated. When you're dehydrated and you feel like you're holding water, you feel like things are a bit slow, your digestion is slow, there is something you can do. Dr. Perry Nicholson, okay? Now, this man came up with this method called the Big 6, and the Big 6 is to help your lymphatic system work and to flow again. So sometimes when I'm hungover, when I can feel like I'm puffy, I'm not one of these girls that gets skinny on a hangover. I get bloated on a hangover where everything slows down and my body's trying to catch up. So there are 6 points that you should do this massage on. Number 1 is you always start at the collarbone, okay? So it's just your 2 fingers, either side of your collarbone, just up and down. You don't have to apply too much pressure. Just for around 8 to 10 times. Some light tapping, okay? Then the other side, so the collarbone is the opening to the lymphatic system. You have to start here. So just up and down, and then some light tapping. Then the next point is behind your ears. So again, my fingers are just like this. I'm up and down behind my ears, like so. Just a few times, light pressure, you can tap behind your ears. And then the next spot, number 3, is under your armpit. So you just rub back and forth a few times under each side. And again, you can tap, okay? The next one, let's go down. The next one is your stomach, okay? So you can move in a circular motion. Doesn't really matter, just light pressure. You can tap. Right, that was number 4. Number 5 is the groin, okay? So up and down. Get your mind out the gutter. Up and down, just here, a few times, and again, you can lightly pat. And then number 6 is behind the knees. So you're just going to rub up and down, behind the knees, a few times, and that's point 6. So easy, it takes, I'd say, not even a minute. And then, if you've got time, what you want to be doing is a really light bounce on your tiptoes, okay? Shaking your arms around just slightly, and you bounce up and down on the spot, and that helps your lymphatics. To be honest, I rarely remember to do that point, and the rest really works. Something else that you might experience, you know when you've eaten and you feel really like tight under here, this bit should never ever feel tender. That's your stomach, okay? It should never feel tender. So if that's sort of touch, which it should never be, what you need to do is you need to spread your fingers like this. This is again Dr. Perry Nicholson. Spread your fingers like this, and to the song of Staying Alive, Staying Alive, don't worry, this isn't like CPR, you need to press up and down quite quickly, and your fingers being spread covers all parts. You keep doing that and it helps pump your lymphatic system. So that is point 2, lymphatic massage. Point number 3, homeopathic treatment. I've been to the homeopath 4 times now, and the first time I went, she rates you on a scale of 1 to 20, and I was at 11. Okay, so 1 being the best, 20 being the worst. I was at 11, and homeopathic ways, you have to be quite open-minded, I think. Well, I know, because the method is slightly odd. You can't argue with the knowledge that she came forward with. So you basically put your foot on this lady's knee, whoever she may be, and then you hold a metal probe, and it connects to this big, like, Back to the Future machine that she has. And she has all these glass vials, and she's constantly popping them in the machine, which you're holding the probe to. This like dial, and it's going woo, 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 and it's making different noises based on what she's put in, how the frequency of your body is reacting to that. Now, I didn't say a word to her beforehand, and during and at the end she said, right, you have a dairy intolerance, you struggle to digest protein, you are currently struggling with fish, I need to improve your gut bacteria, I can feel stress in your body, I can feel some grief in your lungs, which I was going through a really hard time when I initially went. Anyway, so she helped recommend some supplements. So I was on like 8 new supplements. She doesn't benefit from that, and it was all external companies. If anything, she was giving me discount codes. So I did that for 3 months. I stopped drinking out of plastic because most people digest or consume a credit card's worth of plastic a year, and with how my gut health is, I just can't afford to have any extra. So I stopped drinking out of plastic. I got onto filtered water. I cut out Coke Zeros, remained gluten-free. I was already gluten-free when I saw her, and then off I went on my way, and I felt really, really good. So 4 months later, when I went back for the accountability, I went to a score of 3, and I was like, I feel so much better. She really helped me with some things like magnesium, with the B12 drops. She did give me one thing for my gut, but my gut couldn't handle it. So I was like, I don't feel very well, I feel really bloated. This is initially, I felt worse. And she instantly knew. She was like, it's too strong for your gut. So I've recommended loads of clients to go there. It literally changed how I felt, made me feel so much better, and I learned so much from it, and things that I still implement to this day. 4, deodorant and perfume. I have been using Fussy for over a year now. I have the subscription packs, like so. Yeah, I would never go back to the concept of spraying aerosol under my arms. I think this is where it comes into play that I'm not about being perfect because I absolutely put fake tan on my skin, and I absolutely wear beauty products. I wear foundation, you know, I'll use certain acids on my skin, that kind of thing. So I'm not after being perfect. I'm after making changes. I'm after there being less heavy metal in my body. Does it leave like a bit of a residue on your clothes? Yes. Does it wash off? Yes. And are there certain scents that work and some don't? Yes. The only one that I find works is the coconut one. I think it's called like Coconut Dream or something. Yeah, I have got an orange case that this slots into, and then you use the deodorant, but sometimes I just keep these little minis in my bags just so on the go I can use them if I need to. Like if I've trained, I'll just top up after I've been to the gym, so before clients. But I do feel like they keep me dry. I feel like I'm not like I used to be when I used to wear deodorant. I feel like a bit wet or like I smell. I never feel like I smell with these at all. One step further from not spraying aerosol under my armpit. I know I love Fussy. I know that some of you babes love Wild. I tried 3 different ones and this is the one that I stuck with. So that's what I do with deodorant. I don't spray perfume directly onto my skin. I won't spray it on my neck. I won't spray it on my chest. I won't spray it directly on my skin. If I spray perfume, I spray it on my top, because when you spray it on your skin, it directly can impact your hormones, and us girls don't need any help with that. And I don't burn candles is the final thing. So I just try and avoid inhaling products when I don't need to. But like I said, I'm not perfect. I absolutely wear fake tan. You know, I do use a natural sunscreen. I do use Aveeno oat moisturizer, so I'm not perfect. I just try and do the things that I use daily, like deodorant, like perfume, that can have like an impact, a greater impact throughout the year. So air fresheners, candles, ain't my bag, honey. So let me know in the comments if you're the same, if you started to change your ways, if you've started to change your deodorant, if you got on with it, if you felt like you smelt more, if it kept you dry, that kind of thing. Or if I'm missing out on the best products that you're using. I know there's some cleaning products, Purdy and Fig, that I need to get my hands on. So I'm just slowly trying to make changes without preaching to those around me. So you've come here for this preach. I've not gone out preaching. So that is tip number 4. Tip number 5, honey, is castor oil. Tell me you've heard about castor oil. Now, this stuff is magic, but it has to be certain castor oils, okay? So it has to be organic, and it has to be castor oil, and it has to be cold pressed. Castor oil has so many benefits. You can use it to put on your eyebrows or your lashes. You can use it to put on your skin. Some people use this instead of Botox with like a concoction. It does smell very nutty, very thick consistency. The reason I use it is because you can do something called a castor oil pack, okay? You only want to leave the first time you do it on your skin for an hour, because I did it for 4 hours the first time and I have never felt so unwell. And that's because it's so potent. It absorbs through your skin, it goes straight into your lymphatic system. It can help cleanse your liver, remove any toxins, any excess waste. It's amazing for constipation and for slow digestion. When I had a sore throat in December, you can gargle with it, but that's not for me. You can't swallow it. I wouldn't recommend. So how I use it, I used to use it on my stomach, baggy t-shirt, leave it for as it built up, like 4 hours or so, and then wash it off. I've more recently started putting a drop in my belly button and just leaving that overnight, like massage it in, leave it overnight. I have tried a few times popping it on the soles of my feet, popping my socks on and going to bed. But the benefits of castor oil are fantastic. Let me show you. Okay, it's really thick. It's really thick. So that's why it's good to like pop it on the bottom of your feet or rub it in your belly button. It smells very almondy, like marzipan-y almondy. Very nutty, but it has so many benefits. So if you have any of the symptoms of any of those things, it's such a great natural product to pull on. But yeah, I literally love it. It's been used for hundreds of years. Considering how I feel about my hair, I might just start whacking this on my hair as well, a bit of a slick hair mask. Tip number 6 is fasting. Now there's so much, I get sent a lot by like babes saying, here's some info on fasting, Vic, but I unfortunately don't get to pick and choose when I fast. I sometimes have to fast when my body says no more, which isn't always ideal, because sometimes it's when my period is due or when I'm actually on my period, which hormonally doesn't really work for you with fasting. Sometimes I have to go the full 24 hours, but I know when I need to fast because I physically feel sick, I can't eat, and I get that whole tenderness here that I spoke about earlier in the video. So I know my body so well. Sometimes I wish I wasn't wasn't so connected to it. I know you might do a fasting window of like 12 to 15 hours, which 12 hours is always super beneficial. As a woman and our hormones, it's not always beneficial to fast, but you very much have to go with what your body needs. It's like trying to flush a blocked toilet. When my lymphatics don't work and my stomach stops working, there's no point pushing extra food in when my body needs a break. So the reason I fast is to give my gut a rest. I find that if I snack less, I have more space between meals for my digestive system to work, for the inflammation to decrease. But when you get to hours 24, your cells start to regenerate, they start to repair. By starving yourself or starving your body when you're not very well, when you have high levels of inflammation, it can really, really benefit your cell turnover. However, if you are poorly, food is medicine, so sometimes your body won't heal unless you're feeding it. But when I say feeding it, you want nourishing things. You don't want sugar, you don't want junk food. You need like whole food nourishing ingredients. But I know people do intermittent fasting. I tried it as one of my diet methods way back in the day. I used to get headaches, and then I would find that I would overeat at night. If you are thinking, woo, I've not had breakfast, and that leaves with more calories, and I'm gonna be all skinny, and I'm gonna be in a bigger calorie deficit because I've only eaten 2 meals today, you will get to the point where your body does override you, and you will get to the point where you will overeat because you've left it too long, you've not had enough nutrients and enough calories. So there's a very fine line with fasting, and it's one that I don't play with unless I physically have to fast to give my body a break. And then I will start to feel hunger cues around hours 21 when I'm in a flare, which shows you just how much of a rest my body needed. And when you break a fast, this is really important, you shouldn't just break a fast with a meal. You have to break a fast slowly. So you would eat something like a bit of avocado or a teaspoon of any kind of nut butter or an egg, that kind of thing. Wait half an hour, and then you would have a meal, because you don't want to flood your body with like no food and then be like, whoa, here's a load of glucose and insulin and let's flood it, and it's just like, it's going to be overwhelmed. I would be interested to know your thoughts on fasting, if you've tried it, how it makes you feel. Do you love it? Have you never tried it? Have you always been intrigued? Have you ever done longer than 24 hours? I've only ever done 26, but that was a really bad flare. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. But as always, like, comment and subscribe. I would love to grow this channel. I would love to keep bringing you my top tips. It takes a lot of time and effort and financially to create these and edit these, that kind of thing. So I would be really grateful for your support. Share the channel, let your friends know. Yeah, I'll always give you my honest view and tell you what it is exactly that I do. And I'm open to hearing, what you think, what you've tried, if I'm missing any tips that you think would be really great as part of my routine. I hope this has helped, and as always, lots of love.